a wrestler decided to leave WWE due to financial constraints. While renowned wrestlers have the potential for substantial earnings, those with lesser popularity struggle to earn comparable amounts. Furthermore, wrestlers are required to cover the majority of their travel expenses, including hotels, rental cars, meals, and other related costs. Daniel Bryan asserted himself and faced potential repercussions. Shortly after making his WWE debut in 2010, Daniel Bryan found himself waiting at an airport for his flight. Ezekiel Jackson, a more seasoned WWE wrestler, informed Bryan that he was taking Daniel's seat on the plane because it was more comfortable than his own. Typically, newcomers to WWE are expected to yield their seats to veteran talent, but Daniel Bryan chose not to comply. Despite being willing to give up his seat to Ezekiel Jackson, the rude manner in which Jackson asked led Bryan to stand his ground. William Regal, a wrestling legend present at the scene, spoke up for Daniel Bryan, addressing Ezekiel. "Do you even know who you're talking to? This man is like a son to me and has more talent in his little finger than you have in your entire body." Jackson walked away, and in the end, Daniel Bryan still ended up relinquishing his seat to someone else. In 1995, Owen Hart orchestrated a memorable prank on Vince McMahon. At the In Your House event, Triple H faced Henry Godwinn in a hog pen match featuring real pigs. Prior to the show, the pigs were being delivered to the arena, and the person handling the delivery inquired about their destination. Owen Hart overheard this conversation and directed them to place the pigs in Vince McMahon's office. When McMahon opened his office door, a pig came running out, and Vince immediately realized he had fallen victim to Owen's prank. Andre the Giant found himself in a legal situation in 1989. While wrestling against the Ultimate Warrior in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, a local cameraman was present to film the show. Andre, however, instructed the cameraman not to record his match. Although the cameraman adhered to Andre's request, the Giant mistakenly believed otherwise, leading him to slap the man and destroy the camera. Observing this altercation, a police officer overseeing the event informed Andre of his arrest. Initially resistant, Andre eventually accepted the situation when told he would be released on bail. Despite compliance, he refused to be handcuffed and the officer acquiesced. After the booking process, Andre was released. For his actions, Andre faced a fine of $100 for criminal mischief and had to compensate $233 for the damaged camera. In 2006, Randy Orton found himself waking up in a hospital bed, bewildered about how he got there. It was revealed that the Viper had experienced an overdose on a sleep medication, causing him to lose consciousness. Orton's wife discovered him in this critical state, noting that he wasn't breathing, immediately rushed to the hospital. Randy Orton's life was saved by the prompt actions of medical professionals. In 1998, an 11-year-old kid inquired with Stone Cold Steve Austin about his thoughts on Goldberg. Here's Austin's response.
What do you think of Joe Goldberg?
I think he's just fine at what he does, but he's done a pretty good job of copying me, but he doesn't talk very much. I have nothing personal. You gotta make it up too.
In 2013, CM Punk attempted to prevent his own mother from attending WWE shows. Punk disclosed that he had provided his mom with over $100,000, but she allegedly threatened him when he stopped sending her money. The threats included revealing potentially embarrassing information about Punk, which he believed was related to his arrest while in school. Punk took legal action by filing a restraining order against his mom, and it was granted. Additionally, he sought a court order to bar her from attending WWE shows, although it's unclear if the judge approved this request. Seth Rollins faced consequences for using an ice pack early in his WWE main roster career. Following a match, Rollins placed an ice pack on his neck backstage. John Cena noticed and inquired about the number of matches Rollins had wrestled on the main roster. Rollins responded with 3. Cena's inquiry was based on the unofficial rule that new WWE wrestlers are not allowed to use ice packs. A wrestler named Super Crazy left WWE due to financial reasons. Residing in Mexico, Crazy received a payment of only $500 for each show he participated in. Realizing that the expenses outweighed his earnings, Super Crazy concluded that he couldn't afford to continue with WWE and decided to quit. Similarly, Summer Rae faced criticism from Randy Orton for using an ice pack on her foot when she was new. The expectation is that newcomers shouldn't require ice packs, as it's believed they shouldn't need such recovery measures after only a short time wrestling in WWE. Shawn Michaels received an annual salary of $750,000 for 4 years despite being relatively inactive. Following a back injury at the 1998 Royal Rumble, Michaels retired from active wrestling. Although making occasional TV appearances, Michaels wasn't heavily utilized by WWE. Jim Ross, a former WWE commentator, disclosed that despite the limited involvement, Michaels was paid $750,000 per year.
We paid Shawn $750,000 a year for about 4 years to do nothing.
Part of the reason for this was Vince McMahon's high regard for Shawn Michaels. Additionally, it served as a preventive measure to keep Michaels from joining WWE's competitor, WCW. This strategic decision proved beneficial for McMahon, as Shawn Michaels made a return to the ring in 2002, extending his wrestling career for another 8 years, and participating in some of the greatest WWE matches of all time. In 1997, WWE wrestler William Regal faced legal consequences for an unfortunate incident on a flight from Tokyo to Detroit. While on the plane, the English wrestling star consumed some pills and went to the bathroom. However, he didn't fully close the door, leading a female flight attendant to approach. Regal, in the midst of his activities, unintentionally ended up urinating on the woman. The flight had a layover in Anchorage, Alaska, where William Regal was subsequently detained and placed in jail. A WWE fan learned a valuable lesson about asking Brock Lesnar for a picture. On the morning before a WWE show, Lesnar was having breakfast at a hotel when a fan approached him. The fan offered to cover the cost of Lesnar's meal and his security guard's meal. Lesnar graciously accepted the offer, ordering over 100 in food. However, when the fan later requested a picture after Lesnar finished eating, Brock's security politely declined, stating, "We appreciate the gesture, but we're not going to be doing anything today." In 2011, an 18-year-old named Ronald Basham from Kentucky filed a lawsuit against The Rock, Triple H, and WWE, claiming he was injured while attending a WWE show in 2000. During the event, The Rock and Triple H engaged in a match that spilled into the crowd. According to the lawsuit, a woman was knocked over and landed on Basham, resulting in an injury to his right knee. The teenager argued that the injury prevented him from participating in sports and negatively impacted his childhood. As WWE refused to cover any expenses related to the incident, Basham sued the company, along with The Rock and Triple H. The legal battle lasted nearly 4 years until the teenager decided to dismiss the case. Though the outcome is unknown, it is speculated that WWE, Triple H, or The Rock may have provided some compensation to resolve the matter. One WWE wrestler managed to infuriate The Undertaker to the point where Taker was prepared to engage in a real fight. The wrestler in question was Mabel, also known as Viscera, who had gained notoriety for inadvertently causing injuries to his opponents. In 1995, Mabel even broke The Undertaker's orbital bone. However, during the 1996 Royal Rumble match, Mabel ended up injuring another wrestler. Backstage, The Undertaker was furious and started taping his fists. Fortunately, the situation didn't escalate to physical violence, but Mabel was swiftly fired following this incident. This is why John Cena is considered the GOAT, greatest of all time. Cena has fulfilled over 650 wishes for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. While some may argue that Cena did it to enhance his public image, that's not the case. Initially, Cena didn't want to publicize the wishes he was granting, and for a considerable time, he kept it private. It was only after Vince McMahon persuaded him that sharing this information could inspire others to get involved and support Make-A-Wish that Cena agreed to make it known. A WWE wrestler was on the brink of a severe act against Paul Heyman on live TV. Tommy Dreamer, the heart and soul of ECW, turned down more lucrative contracts with WWE due in part to the persuasive efforts of ECW owner Paul Heyman. However, when ECW went out of business in 2001, Dreamer found himself jobless and living with his parents. Dreamer later discovered that Heyman had been secretly receiving payments from WWE for years. Adding to his despair, plans for Dreamer's WWE debut at WrestleMania 17 fell through. This pushed Dreamer to a dark place, and he contemplated violence, even acquiring a gun. His plan involved going to WrestleMania 17, jumping the barricade, shooting Paul Heyman during commentary, and then turning the gun on himself. In the midst of these disturbing thoughts, Dreamer received a call from an unfamiliar number. He let it go to voicemail, and the recording from Jim Ross said, "Hey Tommy, it's Jim Ross, just want to let you know we're still thinking about you. We are gonna get it done, just gotta hang tight, thank you." This call turned everything around for Dreamer. Before joining WWE, Alundra Blayze, also known as Medusa, faced homelessness and lived on the streets. She was burdened with an $80,000 debt owed to the IRS. However, Vince McMahon reached out to Alundra and extended a WWE contract offer. McMahon went further and asked if there was anything else he could do for her. In response, the future WWE Hall of Famer mentioned her debt, and the next day, Vince McMahon sent her a check for $80,000. Regrettably, about 2 years later, Alundra Blayze would join WWE's competitor WCW and famously discard the Women's Championship in the trash on live TV. Mark Henry took swift action when he observed a WWE crew member inappropriately staring at AJ Lee, who was stretching backstage. Henry lifted the man and pinned him against the wall in response to his behavior. The specifics of what transpired between Henry and the crew member remain unknown, but AJ Lee expressed joy and gratitude for Mark Henry's intervention. Charlotte Flair faced legal action from her ex-husband Ricky Johnson, along with her father Ric Flair. Charlotte was married to Ricky Johnson from 2010 to 2013. The lawsuit ensued after Charlotte and Ric Flair released their autobiography, Second Nature, in 2017. In the book, Charlotte disclosed that she left Ricky Johnson due to allegations of abuse. Johnson contested the claims, leading to a legal battle against Charlotte and her father. The dispute concluded with an out-of-court settlement, the details of which remain undisclosed.
Before rising to wrestling stardom, Booker T had a criminal past. At the tender age of 13, he lost both his parents, prompting him to take on a job at Wendy's to provide for himself and his siblings. Despite his efforts, financial struggles led Booker to a dark path. He made a fateful decision to rob the Wendy's where he worked, initiating a spree of over 20 armed robberies across various Wendy's locations. During these crimes, Booker and his accomplices wore their Wendy's uniforms, inadvertently leaving a trail for the police to connect the dots. Eventually, law enforcement deduced that the perpetrator had ties to the restaurant. At the age of 22, Booker T was arrested and served a little over a year and a half in prison. Upon his release, a police officer ominously remarked, "I'll see you when you get back." Contrary to the officer's prediction, Booker not only avoided returning to prison, but also went on to achieve greatness as a multi-time world champion and eventually a WWE Hall of Famer.